Hi, this is Andrea again, and yesterday one of my YouTube viewers wrote a question that I think is a really big question for a lot of people out there when it comes to the law of attraction and positive thinking. And the question is this: how are we supposed to feel good about evil people? All right, so we understand with the law of attraction, we want to feel good, we want to be happy, we want to be loving, but how are you supposed to feel good and happy and loving about someone who does despicable things? All right, so this is a really great question. How do we feel good about people who do despicable, deplorable things? And the short answer that I have for you is that it's not your job to feel good about things you don't like. You don't have to feel good about somebody who appears to be evil to you. But you also don't have to feel bad about it. And so instead of reaching for feeling great about people who are cruel to animals or beat their kids, instead of doing that, I think it's easier to reach for a state of neutrality. All right, and so I want to talk a little bit about what that means and how I've developed that in my own personal psyche that's worked out well for me. Okay, so here's the thing. We live in an infinite universe. Infinite, meaning that we each have the infinite capacity to create infinitely unique scenarios and realities. And so what this means is that there are infinite frequencies that we can dial into at any time. On some of these frameworks and some of these frequencies of reality, you're going to find that people are nice to each other, they're kind, they're compassionate, they help each other, and they operate as a unit. There are frequencies where that kind of harmony exists. But there are also lower frequencies where other kinds of realities exist, where people aren't nice to each other, where people struggle, where they have conflict, where they fight, where they're abusive to each other. There are those frequencies as well. And I know this from personal experience because I've lived in both, I've found. Or I've lived in realities where everyone's just getting along, everyone's being so nice, everyone's being so kind. And I've lived in more hellish realities too. But it all has everything to do with my vibrational state. So one thing that's helped me stay very neutral about this idea of bad people or evil people is understanding that you literally can't get rid of them, first of all, because we live in an infinite universe with infinite frequencies. So there will always be lower vibrational frequencies where shenanigans and debauchery and cruelty exist. There has to be, because it's an infinite universe with infinite possibility. You can't just get rid of all of that in the totality of all that is, because all that is includes the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, another thing that's helped me make peace with this idea of evil people or bad people is understanding that if I had the ability to eliminate an entire kind of people or an entire kind of behavior or an entire, reality structure, if I had the ability to get rid of that, what I would be doing to all that is limiting it and deciding that this is the only way you can live. You can't live this way. Now, most of us would agree that being cruel to animals isn't nice. It's bad. It's wrong. We don't like it. But the second we say that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, what we do is we restrict freedom. See, at the end of the day, we all want the ability to live life the way we want to live it. And in order for us to truly be free, like if that's what you want for your life, you truly want to be free and have the ability to choose whatever you want, a lot of the journey with the law of attraction is letting go of those kinds of limitations that tell you, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And so while a lot of these behaviors are awful, they are awful, but they are also expressions of freedom. And so I'm not saying you have to celebrate them like, yay, animal cruelty. No. But understanding that if you really want to be free and have the freedom to choose to do whatever you want to do, you have to understand that each person is living a reality where they're allowed to do the same thing. And if somebody wants to drag down their vibration and reside in a lower frequency where hatred and violence and conflict exist, That's their freedom and that's their right. But you don't have to do that. So how do I make peace with evil, corrupt, terrible people? Well, here's the thing. First of all, again, I don't feel like I have to feel good about it. I don't feel good about animal cruelty. I don't feel good about child abuse. I don't feel positive about those things. But I know I don't have to feel bad about it either. And the reason I don't feel bad about it anymore is because I understand that we live in an infinite universe, meaning the good, the bad, and the ugly will exist. They will. There's no getting rid of any of it. So me fighting against it, all that's doing is making me feel like crap and making that a more dominant part of my reality, because what I focus on, I get more of through the law of attraction. So understanding first that it is what it is. There are frequencies where that kind of crap exists. There just are. There's nothing that I can do to omit that from all that is. So why bother getting all tied up in a knot about it? Also, it's helped me to understand that I want the freedom to live my life the way I want to live it. And granted, I want to live a very positive, loving, constructive, positive life. But I have to respect the fact that each individual person and being on this planet has the exact same freedom and capacity. And if they want to drag down their vibration and live in a shitty reality, that's all on them. Honor the fact that the only choices you have any, ability to manipulate are your own. You have the ability to tune into a frequency where there is more love and harmony. Period. Those who choose to do otherwise, they're going to live in a different reality than you if you leave them alone. So you don't have to go down there to save them. You don't have to shame them, because all that you do when you focus on them is you lower your own vibration and become more of a match to that kind of chaos in your own reality. Law of attraction isn't about getting rid of all the bad people in the world. It's about creating your reality the way that you wish it to be. And the way you do that is by focusing positively on what you can, and the things you just can't focus positively on, try to be neutral about it and let it be what it is.